Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia and this is the Frontline Changes report for the past 24 hours in the Ukraine war or the special military operation in Ukraine. And yesterday we have all this big news about the collapse of Vuhledar, and in the situation report I did mention Vuhledar's Vuhledar has confirmed to have fully fallen to the Russians, and this triggers a whole chain of events that marks yet another round of massive collapse across the front line, particularly over the Pokrov region. So we're going to there is a lot of frontline changes. All of them is red again, as you can see. My screen is very red. Actually, because my curtain is red, isn't? But anyway, there's frontline changes over in Makiivka. So over the Svetove front, north of Sperne in the Sivas front, Torex in the New York front, Hrodivka, Mykolaievka, Seredove, Sukhoriny, Hernik, Zeleny Druhi, Maximilianivka, Konstantinivka, and the Donetsk front, Katerinivka, Vodiane, and Vuhledar. So we're going to go into one by one. Over at Makiivka in the Svetove front, this is the Russian forces has been geolocated to have a new position, moving towards Kharkivka, as they start to enter to the forest, going out of Makiivka and heading in a totally new frontier. So the geolocation of Russian forces is in the forest. So this means that they have really fully captured Makiivka, and they are now moving out and trying to form new positions outside. So this is the frontline change over at Makiivka. The next frontline change, let me click on it. Next frontline change is over at Sperne, over in the Sivas front. So this Sivas, and Sperne is over here. North of Sivas, there is frontline change. Russian forces geolocated along the tree line, confirming that the Russians have advanced a little bit, just a little bit, in the north of Sperne. So that's all for this. This is a very minor change. The next frontline change, we jump to Torex, over in the New York front. So this is the New York front. New York is over here. This is Torex city. And at Torex, Russian forces have continued to go deeper and deeper into the center of Torex. And this time round, it seems like they have captured the whole cluster of high-rise building in the center as they continue to move through this city. And it's looking really horrible right now. So you can see this is the city, and the Russian forces is right in the center of it, right in the middle of it. So quite ridiculous. And the front line is now forming up to look like a stegosaurus. So it's looking like a stegosaurus right now. So yeah, very happy. So that's all from the Torex region. The next front line change, we jump to Hrodivka in the Pokrov front. So this is Pokrov, and Hrodivka is here. And the Russian forces have expanded control in the Hrodivka, Mykolaievka region. Russian forces geolocated on the western part of Mykolaievka, which means that the Russian forces is on the verge of capturing Mykolaievka. There's only a little bit left, with the Russian forces now moving pretty quickly, and the Ukrainian defenses, or the resistance is really crumbling as we speak. So let's see how this goes. I expected stronger resistance in Mykolaievka, but it seems like this advance surprises me actually. In the Hrodivka region, so this Mykolaievka, where the Russian forces have this advance on the west of Mykolaievka, the Hrodivka region is basically just this area in the northwest of Hrodivka, where the Russian forces seems to have taken the entire entrenchment north of Mykolaievka, and they seem to have also penetrated into this other one in the northwestern entrance or exit of Hrodivka. So no major updates around here, and then after the Mykolaievka region, the next frontline change is over Seredove. As you can see, this entire chunk of mess around here. So over Seredove region, Russian forces have fully, this is based on Russian claims, by the way, this is not a capture. This is based on Russian claims that they have fully secured the southern outskirt of Seredove, which means that the Russian forces is now able to freely attack Selidove in multiple vectors of attack. They can attack, in this most eastern part, in this southern part, through the hospital, through the north southwestern part. They can attack in all different directions because of this advance. So this is based on Russian mapping, these Russian claims. So we will continue to monitor the situation here. Selidove is now in severe risk and danger. In the Sukhirine region, the entire area here also seems to have gone into some drastic problems now. Russian forces have fully, based on, these are all Russian claims, by the way, except for this capture. This is a Russian capture, by the way. The Russians have advanced in the railway line region, and they are now unable to strike into the western part, the industrial or farming region of Sukhirine. The Russians also claim to have secured the entire eastern outskirts of Sukhirine, which means that they can attack from the east. And from the south, the Russian forces have expanded control southward from Sukhirine as well. So the Russians can now attack Sukhirine in so many different directions. Sukhirine is not going to be able to hold at this rate. In the south, in the Khernik region, so the Russians pushing south from Sukhirine, and this is going to hit into the center between Izmailivka as well as Novoselidivka. So this is going to be pretty interesting maneuver, and this will put Khernik in danger. If the Russians are able to continue to push through, this will force a Ukrainian mass withdrawal of Khernik, because that will be a potential cutting off of withdrawal, and it's going to be a big problem for the Ukrainians if the Russians are able to cut off all the roads of withdrawal. But this is still long, still some distance. We have 7 kilometers all the way to the water body, so it's not critical yet, but what is to come. In north of Khernik, the Russian forces also have captured some grounds, closing up to the city itself, and the Russian claims massive amount of grounds, including the entry into Zeleny Druhi, all the entrenchments southwest of Zeleny Pershi, and also attacking into having a stronger foothold or on the outskirts, the northeastern outskirts of Khernik. So this is the advance, and then we have to go into this massive crazy update by the Russian mapping. So they draw in a very estimated line like this, where the Russian forces, as I mentioned earlier, have secured the entire northern outskirts of Zeleny Druhi, and they also claim to have taken all of the grounds in the Velsky salient. So the Velsky is over here. So that's the salient. This area is the salient, and the Russians have almost completed the full capture of the salient, leaving just a little bit more left in the south of Zeleny Druhi. So take all these claims with a pinch of salt, but given the speed of given the lack of reporting from these areas here, this is most likely not wrong. Most likely it's going to be true. And also the tide of war also shows that the Russians are making quick advances. So the Russian mapping most likely is correct in all this reporting. So, and then over in the Maximilianivka region, in the Kurakove sector, Russian forces have expanded their control in the north of Maximilianivka as they push south from Hostray region, as they are now putting pressure on Maximilianivka. And if this is true, this is also based on Russian claims by Ryba. If this is true, then the Maximilianivka is going to be captured very quickly, because the Ukrainians won't be able to defend such a long front along the Maximilianivka, as reinforcement and have to come from Kurakove. So they will only be able to defend the western part, and then the eastern part is going to be lost very quickly by the Ukrainians to the Russian forces. So this is also yet another massive change in the situation over here. So let's continue to monitor the situation, and then we go down to Konstantinivka. So at Konstantinivka, at the Konstantinivka-Katerinivka region, so there is this one I mentioned in the situation report, where Russian forces are geolocated, invalidating some Ukrainian claims So the Ukrainians still claim that they are around this region. However, in the Kateryniivka, the Russian claims continue to expand. This time round, they claim that they have taken the entire southeastern outskirt of Kateryniivka, as they take all the forest lines west of Konstantinivka, and which means the Russians can now attack Kateryniivka from two different vectors of attack, and I think this will poise them pretty well for this offensive into Kateryniivka. So this is yet another situation that's developing. You can see so many different settlements are now under threat, or under encirclement, or under the poise of getting attacked from multiple vectors. So this is going to be getting very, very serious. And there is this update over at Vuhledar. This I already reported this in the situation report, but it was not updated during the frontline changes report yesterday. Russian forces have expanded the control around Vuhledar, moving past the South Donbass mine tree. This is based on Ukrainian mapping, so this is confirmed. So the Russian forces has now expanded, and they are moving moving towards Vuhledar. So Vuhledar now is almost firmly under Russian control right now. This area here is Russian claims. So the northern part of Vuhledar, so this area here, this area here is still claimed by the Ukrainians. So we haven't have confirmation of this expansion, but once the Russians are able to confirm, then we can fully confirm that Vuhledar is now fully secured by the Russian forces. The capture of this mining facility around here, so shows that the Russians are now on the verge of attacking towards Vuhledar. The distance between Vuhledar and this capture is around just under 3 kilometers. So Russians are now pushing closer and closer, and of course, finally at Vuhledar. So the Russian forces, after yesterday's frontline changes report, more geolocations have shown the Russian forces raising the flags in multiple locations, and there's a new one right in the center, firmly confirming the Russians' capture of Vuhledar in full. The speed of the capture and the speed of the flag raising simply shows that the Ukrainians have fully withdrawn or abandoned positions at Vuhledar. And Vuhledar has been bombed super severely to the point where I think even if there were defenders, they were all dead from all these bombings, even if they really wanted to resist. So, and that ends the chapter on Vuhledar, the fortress city of Vuhledar. It was a legendary city. Russian forces lost a lot of troops trying to take this city in the past 2 years, and is only now with superior firepower, air supremacy or air superiority, and totally reformed way of fighting. The Russian forces is now able to easily take this fortress city, unlike what happened to them 2 years ago. So, and the Ukrainian, this is also acknowledged by the Ukrainian mapping. They said that the Russians have occupied Vuhledar, and they say that the Russians have planted the flag in all corners of the city, and they have no desires to comment on the last days of the defense, since nothing will change anyway. And they give the honor to those that fight. So rest in peace for the Ukrainian soldiers that fought to defend the fortress city. But unfortunately, it wasn't even a fight. Yeah, it wasn't even a fight. They just getting bombarded and died. So anyway, that's the frontline changes report for the past 24 hours. As you can see, crazy number of changes. So thank you for watching. Press the like button, subscribe. Really, I'm not joking when I say all these things. Press the like button and subscribe. It helps. And I'll see you guys in the next update.